And joining me now is Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia. Senator Warnock, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Good morning. Always great to be here with you.
Well, it is always great to be having you, especially on this very significant Sunday. Let's start off by talking about the results of our latest poll. Senator, 66% of voters believe the country is on the wrong track. As you know, historically, incumbent parties don't win re-election when the number is that high. Do you believe that Vice President Harris should have distanced herself more from President Biden and sooner?
I believe, as this poll indicates, that this is a change election. And the voters in that regard have a very clear choice. They are saying that they want to turn the page. Donald Trump wants to turn back. It's in his slogan. It's in the proposals that he lays out when he actually says something. He wants to make America great again. He wants to move back. We're not going back. We're moving forward. And I think you're seeing that. I'm feeling it here on the ground. The energy, the momentum is with Kamala Harris because she represents the future. She represents the hope and the promise of America, a country that is always forward looking. And you have a 78-year-old president who wants to go back.
I hear you talking about the fact that it's a change election. She only narrowly leads former President Trump on that point. And when you were running for re-election, you walked a very fine line when it came to President Biden in terms of distancing yourself, really holding him a bit at an arm's length. You were successful in that regard. Should she have done the same?
What I did was I focused on the people that I was seeking to represent. And that's what Kamala Harris is doing every single day. Donald Trump is making this election about himself and about what's good for him. In fact, he has an enemies list. She has a to-do list. And on that list is protecting women and their right to choose. Donald Trump is saying he will protect women, and then he goes on to say, I will protect women whether they want it or not. I don't know about you, but even as a man, that sounds rather ominous coming from the mouth of a convicted sexual predator. We don't need a predator. We need a president in the Oval Office, and that person is clearly Kamala Harris. I think the voters are seeing that, and I believe that this will be a tight race. That's the nature of our country in this moment, but the momentum is with her.
Well, let's talk about something that happened this week. The vice president was delivering her closing argument at the Ellipse in Washington. As you know, at the same time, President Biden seemed to refer to Donald Trump's supporters as garbage in reference to some comments that were made by a comedian. Now, the president quickly walked those comments back. He said, no, he was purely talking about the rhetoric. But do you believe that President Biden stepped on Kamala Harris's closing argument in a critical moment of this race, Senator?
As the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Martin Luther King Jr. served, I think that we all need to elevate the character and the tone of our political discourse. And that's what Kamala Harris is doing. She is a joyful warrior. She is the candidate. And she is saying that we need to turn the page on this. I think about the fact that ever since Donald Trump came down that escalator, American political discourse, the nature of the family conversation that we're having as an American people has been going down. And thankfully, we have a candidate who's forward-looking, and who is lifting that conversation up. He has an enemies list. He thinks that people who disagree with him are the enemy. She's inviting them to sit with her at the table. I think that's what a leader looks like.
Senator, let's talk about another aspect of this race. Polls have consistently shown that Kamala Harris is trailing where President Biden was when it comes to black voters. Former President Barack Obama, as you know, had a pretty blunt message for black male voters. He called them out for, quote, not feeling the idea of a woman president. Do you agree with former President Barack Obama?
I can tell you what I'm feeling on the ground. I've been all over this country to several of the battleground states. I was in Michigan a couple weeks ago in a black fraternity house, my own fraternity. I've spent time in barbershops. I've been encountering folks, obviously, in my church and other churches. And there is momentum for Kamala Harris. And the more voters hear about her, including black men, the more they like her. Look, I've been through this. Folks were saying, and there was hand wringing when I was running. And folks were saying, well, we're not sure about this turnout. Let me tell you something. Black men are not going to show up in droves and waves voting for Donald Trump. They're not. And it's because they know who he is. This is the man who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times saying that the Central Park Five, these young men of color, should get the death penalty for what was indeed a heinous crime. And when it was proven that they were innocent, he doubled down. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, understands the concerns of the African-American community. She's laid out a plan to support and strengthen black businesses, women-owned businesses, because she understands that small businesses are the backbone of our country. I'm proud of our coalition. It looks like America. And I believe that come Tuesday, while it's going to be a tight race, I believe the country is going to get this right. Here is my concern. We can all go back and forth. I don't pay much attention to polls. I really trust what I feel on the ground. The race will be decided on Tuesday. We are seeing record turnout. And the Harris campaign, to their credit, is doing the hard work. They knocked on 56,000 doors in Georgia this past Saturday. So they're putting in the work, but the race will be decided Tuesday. We need everybody to show up.
All right, Senator Warnock, we've got a jam-packed show, so I will have to save my other questions for next time, but we covered a lot of ground. Thank you so much for being here on this Sunday before Election Day. We really appreciate it.
Happy Sunday morning, everybody.